So today we're going to look at sun salutation. We're going to do sun salutation A and then we're going to do sun salutation B. And I'm going to run through them twice each. On the first time I'm going to give some easy variations, and on the second time a more traditional run through. Sun salutations are a great way to start your practice, to warm up the body. They really loosen off and get the body moving. You can also bring the heart rate up a little bit. And they're a foundation for quite a lot of other yoga practice. They come up in Vinyasa and Ashtanga, so it's a good thing to learn the basic sun salutation form as a prerequisite then to moving on to more intermediate and advanced practices. I'm going to do this side on so you can see what I'm doing in kind of from a side angle. So it's going to start by coming to the top of the mat. So just take a step to the top of the mat and come into mountain pose. I'm just going to turn so you can see what that looks like. So feet are hip width apart, or you can bring your toes together and maybe just have your ankles apart so the sides of your feet are parallel to the edges of the mat. I prefer to go hip width, I think it's a more natural stance. But however you take that, kind of just lifting out the hips, so stand tall, feel yourself grow the extra couple of inches. And just relax the shoulders down, maybe tilt the tailbone under slightly and engage your abs. And have a little bit of intention and strength in your legs and in your arms. So there's real energy within this posture. It's not just a relaxed posture, there's real intention with this pose. So bring it back into that mountain. And just take a few moments there just to center yourself, get yourself ready to take on the sun salutation. Next time we take a breath in, we're going to take the arms up. You can look up at the hands, and that might bring a slight little back bend in, so just being careful if you feel as though extension into your spine is a little bit too much, then maybe just keep it in neutral. If not, take a look up at the hands, bring that slight back bend in. On the exhale, then we're going to bend forward into a forward fold. Now, what I like to do is bending from the knees at the same time as I hinge at the hip, bring the hands down, so it's a nice and easy on the lower back. Take a breath in there as you come up into a forward gaze. So we're going to slide the hands up the shins as you straighten out the legs. So it doesn't matter where the hands end up. And look forward. So it's a halfway lift forward gaze. We're trying to get the back to nice and flat. So we're not rounding back like you would do in a fold. We're trying to lengthen the spine. Take a breath in there and then exhale as you bring the hands back down to the floor into that forward fold. Step back with the right foot. Bring it into runner position. And then step back with the left. So you come down then into a plank position, just as a transition, because then first time around what we're going to do is going to drop the knees to the floor. So we're coming through into an Ashtanga Dandasana position, so 8 point. So we've got the feet and the knees. So then we're going to kind of just tilt the tailbone out slightly, as if you're going to come into a cow type position, cat-cow. And at the same time, with the elbows pointing backwards and keeping tucked in by the side of the body, lower the chest and the chin down to the floor. So now we've got hands, chest and chin. So we've got 8 points touching the floor, Ashtanga Dandasana. And then slide the body forward, and we're going to come in through into a low cobra first time round. So if you flatten off the feet, squeeze your glutes as you do that, and maybe just push the tops of your feet into the mat, and that just lifts your knees so your legs are engaged. Your body, your upper body, your shoulders are lifted. You've got a slight forward gaze, but no pressure on your neck, trying to keep the neck long. And in this position, squeeze your abs, the muscles of your back are contracted, and you can maybe bring your hands off the floor just to show you that I'm not kind of pushing down on this particular stage. Take a breath in there, tuck the toes under, push back up onto your knees, maybe bring the hands in slightly, and then push down into the toes, push down into your hands, lift the knees, take the hips back over your ankles, and then lift up into a down dog. And in this first time, I'm just going to maybe position the feet, just going to walk out the down dog. So just stretching down the backs of the legs, feeling that working into the calves, into the hamstrings, and then kind of settling more into your down dog. So pushing the hips back, try to push the chest back towards the knees. Don't worry if the feet don't come flat to the floor and if you feel as though you need to bend your knees. The idea is to get axial extension, to lengthen the spine. Take a breath in, look forward between the hands, And we're going to step forward then with the right foot back between the hands. Come back into that runner position. Breath in, and then step forward with the left foot. Coming back into that forward fold. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then driving them back up into that lifted position. Bring the hands back down into heart centre and back into your mountain. Pause there, take a couple of breaths. So I'm going to run through that again, but this time add a couple of different variations in. So important to work at your own level. So if you're not comfortable, just work at the first level, the slightly easier options. If not, we'll take a couple of the extras. Take a breath in. Just take the arms up, looking up at the hands, slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold, bend at the hips, bend at the knees. Breath in, halfway lift, forward gaze. Exhale, take the hands to the floor, step back with the right foot, step back with the left foot, come back into your plank position, and either taking that knees, chest, chin option, or this time, take a low press up to the floor, elbows stay tucked in by the side of the body, and then slide the body through, flatten off the feet, squeeze the glutes, push the tops of the feet down into the mat if that's comfortable, and then either coming into that low cobra pose, or lifting the body, come into a cobra, or even all the way coming up into a nice up dog. Each of those increases the extension in the spine, so just working whichever level you're comfortable. Breath in there. On the exhale, then lowering back down to the floor, tuck the toes under, pushing then down either onto your knees, so I like the first time around, or through high plank. Take the hips back into your down dog. And just pausing here for 3, maybe 4 or 5 breaths, and just looking at your hands and flatten, push your inside of your hands down into the floor. Turn your elbows out to the side, so you're kind of externally rotating your upper arms, and then pushing the hips high and back. Breath in, look between the hands, step forward with the right foot, come into runner, step forward with the left, into your forward fold. Breath in, halfway lift, exhale, fold. And then again, driving up to that standing position, and then come back down into your mountain. Take a breath. So Sun Salutation B starts a little bit differently in that we're going to come down into chair. So when we float the arms up, rather than the hands being together looking up at the hands, we're just going to keep the arms shoulder width apart just to start. And you can still gaze up, so you can bring in with a slight extension into the spine. So set yourself in mountain, take a breath in, float the arms up, but this time as you come down, we're going to sit back as if you're sitting back onto a chair. So you're kind of going to take the weight into your heels as you kind of sit back. And notice that the knees don't come forward. Yeah, so the weight isn't in my toes, the weight is in the heels, and the knees stay back, almost directly above the heels. The arms come forward just into a natural position. And notice what's happening with your lower back. So you don't want your tailbone sticking out. You want to kind of contain that by squeezing your abs and kind of bringing your lower back into neutral, so there's no tension or extension into your lower back. Quite a strong posture, quite hard to maintain. So pause there for 2 breaths. And then on the exhale, then take the hands down to the floor. So you're coming into that forward fold, take a breath in, halfway lift, a bit like we did with Salutation A. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Step back with the right foot, step back with the left foot. Now we're going to go through the same kind of vinyasa part of the flow, so you can either take knees, chest, chin, or that slow press up to the floor, slide the body through, and come through either into your low cobra, cobra or up dog. Take a breath in there, tuck the toes under, push back onto your knees or through high plank, back into your down dog. Checking in again with your position, hands pushed down into the floor, externally rotating your upper arms, trying to lengthen, push your hips high and back. Take a breath in. On the exhale then, look forward between the hands, step forward with the right foot. I'm going to drop the left knee to the floor. So we're going to come through this first time around into a low crescent lunge. So what I like to do with this is kind of come up onto your fingertips before you come into the lunge, and then you know that you're balanced. Takes out any kind of wobble at this point. Take a breath in, On the exhale, then sweep the arms up, coming up into a nice low lunge, crescent lunge. Relax your shoulders down. And we're trying to drop the hips down towards the floor, but keeping the hips and the shoulders forward. Take a breath in. On the exhale, bring the hands down to the floor as you hinge at the hips, bring the chest down towards the knee. Tucking the toes under on the left foot. Lift the left knee, straighten out that left leg, and then step the right foot back to the left. Push the hips up and come into your down dog. 3 breaths, checking in again with that nice static down dog posture. Look forward between the hands, step forward with your left foot between the hands this time. And dropping the right knee to the floor. Again, coming up onto your fingertips first, looking forward, taking that breath in, sweeping the arms up into that low crescent lunge. Strong posture. Breath in. On the exhale, hinge from the hip. Bring the hands down to frame that left foot. Tuck the toes under on the right. Lift the right knee. And then stepping this left foot back towards the right. Push the hips back up into your down dog. 3 breaths. Then look forward between the hands. Step forward with the right foot. Step forward with the left foot. Come into this forward fold position. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Then to finish, we're going to come back into chair. So from here, sweeping the arms up, come back into that chair position. Contain the front part of the body. Pause there, take a breath. On the exhale then, standing up, and then bring the hands back down into prayer hands. Back down into your mountain. Take a few breaths. Really gets the heart racing, really good for your cardio. So we're going to repeat Sun Salutation B one more time. This time we're going to give an option around the lunge. So instead of staying from a low lunge, you can work there if that's comfortable for you. We're going to come up into a high lunge. Breath in as you float the arms up. Come back down then into your chair. Contain the front part of the body. Pause here for 2 breaths. On the exhale then, bring the hands down to the floor. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back with the right, step back with the left. Either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, that slow press up to the floor, slide the body through into your cobra or up dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees through high plank, push the hips back into your down dog. Look forward between the hands, step forward with the right foot, and either stay in this position or you can come to the knee. Entirely your choice, but whichever you choose, making sure you're balanced again. Bring the fingertips to the floor first of all. Engage, switch on your core, switch on your abs. Take a breath in on the exhale then. Come up, can be a bit of a wobble. Gain your balance, strong posture. Breath in. On the exhale, hinge forward, hands frame the right foot, and then step that right foot back to the left into your down dog. 3 breaths. Look forward between your hands, step forward with the left foot, and either again taking it to the knee on the right, or keeping that right knee lifted, coming up onto your fingers, take that breath in, squeeze, engage. Bring the arms up into that high crescent lunge. Pausing there, take a couple of breaths. Breath in, exhale. Hands come down, frame the foot, step that left foot back towards the right into your down dog. Look forward between the hands. Just a bit of a change, we'll step forward with the left foot this time. Then step forward with the right foot. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Coming back up into that chair position, remember. Contain the front part of the body. Take a breath in. Come up to standing. Bring the hands down into heart center. Back down into your mountain. Take a few breaths.